Core State Center. Hi, everyone. I'm Leif Elsmo, and this is Laxattack. And we've got 6 teams playing, all the teams in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League playing this week. Here in Philly, they take on the Buffalo Bandits, a rematch of last week where Buffalo got beat up pretty good. But tonight, Philadelphia plays without Dallas Elliott, their first-team All-Pro goalie, and Buffalo has a revamped lineup with 2 players that were missing last week. Then we've got Baltimore going to Rochester. Rochester really needs a win, a good win, to get their team moving toward the playoffs. And New York is in Boston. New York at 5-3 can still be bumped out of the playoffs, possibly. And what it will take is 2 losses to Boston starting tonight. Boston wins 2, they could get into the playoffs. They come in at 3-5. A lot of great activity starting here in Philadelphia. Of course, Quinn Kessnick will be with us. Q, what do you got?
Leave 3 keys for tonight's game. If you're Buffalo, you've got Kilgore and Callan back in the lineup. That's important because Kilgore's got over 20 assists, and he can set up Tavares and Dowling on the left side. If you're Philadelphia, you're playing without Dallas Elliott tonight. You need Andy Piazza to have a big game. And the last key is going to be penalties. Last week, Buffalo committed a ton of penalties. Philadelphia scored 8 power play goals. That really was the difference of the game. Good goaltending for Buffalo, good penalty management, stay out of the box, and Buffalo's got a shot in this ball game.
All right, it's all coming up tonight on Laxattack. Major Indoor Lacrosse League's Phil Laxattack. This week's show is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
No matter who's out on the other side, we feel as if we can beat them. The only time we're going to lose, which I don't think we're going to lose the rest of the season, but is if we beat ourselves. It doesn't matter who's across from us. We just have to play our game. We play our game, and we're going to come out victorious.
We're on the road, so we came in together. We ate together this afternoon. You know, we had a good, strong game plan today. We had a good meeting this afternoon, so we're focused. We're prepared. We're ready for this game. We got a lot to prove, like I said before. It's a big game for us. We still have to make the playoffs.
Bring it on down here. Bring it on down.
Steve Govett sets up the challenge with Darius Kilgore in the warm-ups. We're at the Core State Center. Buffalo comes in to take on the first place Philadelphia Wings. The story tonight, Dallas Elliott out on death of the family, keeps him home. He's not in the building, but the pizza man is. They love him here. 4 games, 11 saves per game, and this one would test him early because here comes the Buffalo Bandits in their orange and black. Tavares, the team leader, one of the best in the league. Feeds inside. Dowling goes to the far right. Pizza Man comes up strong. He'll continue to get tested early in this game from the outside. That shot by Rich Kilgore saved by the Pizza Man. No score still in the first quarter as Darius Kilgore sets up. Tommy Fair with a nice pick. Govett can't keep up with Darius Kilgore. He finally finds rope. And Kilgore makes it a 1-0 game in the first. Let's take a look at how Kilgore just goes right between all the defenders. Q, it looked easy.
Leaf, I got Darius Kilgore scored Buffalo's first goal. Darius, excellent speed on that, sliced right through their defense.
It was just a great pick by Tom Fair. He set it up real good and just come right down the middle. They didn't have anybody sliding. They're usually a pretty good, good slide team, but no one came, so lucked out.
Gave Piazza 2 fakes and tucked it away behind him.
Yeah, it was, like you said, I come down pretty clean, which surprised me, and I had a lot of time. So I thought I'd take the extra fake.
Darius Kilgore's got Buffalo up 1-0 early stages of the first quarter.
And we continue with the action. Philadelphia looking to answer that goal, and they initiate the offense. Fitterin looking for help. Fitterin, a rocket from the outside. He's got the first goal for Philly. 1-1 game in the first. O'Toole gets the start. He's been shaky this year, and he'll get a sharp eye from Les Bartley, the coach, as the first quarter wears on. Good defensive check there as Darius Kilgore tried the same move. They put tough D on him. Another pipe shot, and Dowling can't beat Pizza Man either. Crowd loves the Pizza Pie Man. He is something in for Dallas Elliott. Last time he played for LA, he had no warning. This time he had a little bit of time to prepare his start, and he is coming up big. Game still 1-1. Tavares coming in, making the one-on-one move against Billy Miller. In tight, and he doesn't beat Piazza there. Miller can't pick it up. Tavares slaps it in. 2-1. Buffalo leads. That's his 35th goal of the year. This has been a defensive game. Not much scoring here from these two offensive teams. In Quint, it's a low-scoring game.
Leaf, we got the end of the first quarter. Buffalo up 2-1. Real low-scoring game. Buffalo's controlled the action. 16 shots on cage compared to Philadelphia's 10. Both goalies, Piazza especially hot in goal for Philadelphia. Back to you, Leaf.
Well, in Philadelphia, it's a 2-1 first quarter. Don't forget, all 6 teams are playing tonight. A lot more coming up. The Coors State Spectrum. Hey, Q, you got any mustard? I'm telling you, it's fantastic here at the Coors State Center. What I love is the 3 games we got tonight. They're hot. Laxattack is cooking.
Good show. It's a big week. It's really a week that's going to set up next week, which is going to set up the playoffs. So it's really crucial.
Did you get the sodas? You got the sodas?
I'm busy in the second half.
By the way, can you get Bartley to move some of the players down a little bit? I was a little cramped because I had the pretzels and stuff were in the way. So we'll be back with more action in just a minute. Laxattack. Take your stuff down there.
I'm Lee Felsman. Welcome back to Laxattack. The game is going great.
Oh my God. I had to go to the bathroom. Look, let's move on to the other. Some great games happening in other cities today, too. We're going to Rochester, the Nighthawks, 4-4, taking on the Baltimore Thunder, 2-6, but a much improved team at this time of the year, a team that Rochester will have to take seriously. They need a win to get that playoff position. And here comes Baltimore. Can't beat Dietrich. Baltimore in the yellow and red, the Nighthawks in the teal, playing in front of that packed home crowd in Rochester. Paulgate gets the loose ball, comes in front, watch out, and he beats Collins. Paulgate in great shape this year. Of course, 1-0, Rochester leads early in quarter number 1. That's his 32nd goal of the season. Again, the offense for the Nighthawks. Putting a lot of pressure on Collins early on. Ducking under as Paulgate gets 2 defenders and the open man out front. Wide open. Then it's Driscoll who slaps home that winner. He gets roped from his knees. 2-0, Rochester leads. Still in the first quarter. More pressure for the Nighthawks. A lot of arsenal on the offensive side. This is Timmy Sudan wheeling out front, looking for rope. He's got it. 3-0. 3 different players score. That's the 15th goal of the year for Timmy Sudan. And Rochester, 3 unanswered goals to start this game. Fans sitting down saying, hey, where's the attack for Baltimore? Where is Bobby Martino? Well, I'll show you where he is. Here comes the loose ball. Martino picks it up. Rockets that ball, and it goes wide. Follow-up shot wide, and Martino again in close. Can't get it to stick. Warms back in the corner. No damage done there. Dietrich, look at rolls sharp early on. Allenbeck picks up the loose ball. Again, offense for Baltimore, pushing it in close on Dietrich, and he brushes that one away. Timmy Horns with the dive. Here comes Rochester with a rocket. And the ball bounces so far out, Martino can't get it. He'd be 1-on-9, but he can't get it cleanly. And Dietrich with an early save on that one after it was pushed upfield by Martino. Bad break for Baltimore. Still 3-0 for Rochester. Gate comes in. He's got his 2nd goal of the game after being tied up by Baltimore's defense. And here goes the push in the corner. Driscoll in there to really protect the franchise player, Paul Gates. Great pick by Pat McCready to set that up. And look at the score, 4-0.
We win tonight, and the rest of the season's, we're still involved in the rest of the season, or we're out and we're not playing serious lacrosse anymore.
We're looking for them to come out on fire. This is a must-win for them. They're 3-5 right now. If they lose this game, their season, for all intents and purposes, as far as playoffs, is over.
We tell our team right now we're in a position we're going to continue to play if we win. If we lose, we got one more game and the season's over.
We've reviewed our matchups. We think we match up very favorably to them. We have a tremendous amount of respect for what Ronnie's done here, and it's going to be a great game. There's no question about it. The history of these two teams has been for great games, and that's what we're looking for. We're ready for it.
Hey, Vinny, what a coincidence. We're looking for a big game, too. The Saints against the Blazers at the Fleet Center. This is New York's offense. Sermet trying to get it in tight The defense knocks it down, but Sermet collects. Rocket up top. He's looking for a rope. 1-0. The Saints take an early lead. They continue to put pressure on the defense of the Blazers. Power play goal makes it 2-0. Out front, that was Vinny Sombrado. Now, here comes Mark Millen, diving in front. But O'Neal really lays it on Millen in the crease violation. Look at O'Neal, a little statement there. Still 2-0. O'Neal and Millen going at it. Wakes up the crowd, and O'Neal, fiery goaltender. He's had a couple games he'd like to have back this year, but he has been consistent over the last 3 years. Still 2-0. New York still with pressure. The Australian flash, that's Gordon Purdy. He makes it 3-0. 3 unanswered goals for New York. They are in Boston, but they are dominating the game. They will lock up a playoff berth here and get themselves in position for first place. Frazier, can't believe it. This team playing flat. Now another power play opportunity for New York. They already have the 3-goal lead. Millen up top with a left-handed trigger. O'Keefe in that low spot. Cutter coming in close, and it's a finishing shot by Walder. Walder finishes that goal, making it 4-0, and this is unbelievable. Let's take a look at Walder again. He comes right across the crease. Millen finds him very easily. Nobody picks him up. And Walder gets an easy goal on a power play. Time for a timeout for Boston.
Let's go. Let's start playing the game versus playing to our own agenda. Okay? Let's start getting on the ground balls when we're on the floor. Let's get the ball out of our sticks and let's get it up the floor. Okay? None more chippy shit. I don't want to see anybody jamming guys over by the bench or out in the field. You start playing defense and guarding your man, playing offense and start running with your teammates. That's it, guys. It's the most important game you got to play this year, guys. This is it. It's all over. It's the only one, guys. Let's go.
Come on.
Boston has to climb a mountain now. Salacasio gets the start. He is so incredible in the goal. Ryan coming on the left side. He pokes that one in. Ryan gets roped 4-1. Now a 3-goal lead is the first blood on offense for Boston. Makes it a 3-goal lead. They continue to push from the offensive end. Boston up top, can't get it. Now the ball loose, they can't pick it up. He dealt up front, in front of the goal, and he finishes it past Lacasio. 2 straight goals for Boston. It's a 4-2 game. And that's the way the first quarter is going to end up. 4-2. 4 straight goals for New York, 2 on the comeback for Boston. Don't forget, a playoff is at stake. New York needs 1 win, Boston needs 2.
Watch the Laxattack on the Deuce.
Hey, what a great idea, Nighthawks. Laxattack, 9:30, Saturdays on ESPN2. And the West Coast folks get another shot April 7th at 12 o'clock. We'll be back to Philadelphia in just a minute. We're back at the Core State Center. Buffalo leading 2-1 after the first quarter, and Philadelphia looking to hold on to that first place and wouldn't mind keeping Buffalo out of the playoffs, but the Bandits have other ideas. Philadelphia starts with our action on a power play right in front of O'Toole, and Wings get a power play goal from Paul Denikin. The assist to Finneran and Gates. Tony Resch likes it because it's tied 2-2, his team on the move. Offense, Gabby Rowe bringing it down, bounce, pass in tight to Gator. And Gary Gate gets his 32nd goal of the season, and Philly gets the first lead of this game. That made it 3-2, but then Rogers would score and Gary Gate would get his second. We pick up the action now. It's 5-3. The Wings in the lead as Darius Kilgore gets his second goal, making it a 5-4 game. Here's Kilgore coming in with a hard shot. He is on fire this game. Another look at it, beating the Pizza Man 5-4. The score now. His 14th goal of the season. That's Darius Kilgore on the offense. Rich Kilgore, the brother, puts it past Piazza, and it's a 5-5 game. Tony Resch wondering what he can do if Piazza can't go much further. He has to go deep to the bench to Hunter. 5-5 still in the second as power play is set up for Philadelphia. Quinn talked about penalties being huge for Buffalo. They have to stay out of the box. because this power play is explosive. Denikin gets his second goal, both on a power play. Finneran, the assist, identical to the first goal on that power play. They head to the locker rooms to score with Pizza Man playing strong. The Weeks lead 6-5. Two of those goals were by Gary Gate. Would you like to know more about how he shoots those great shots?
Rules and Tools, brought to you by Old Spice.
Today on Rules and Tools, I'm with Gary Gate, maybe the best shooter in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. And Gary, your shooting is not only dramatic, but you've gone ahead and named some of your dramatic shots. It started in 1988 in the Field Series on your way to the championship. You developed a shot. Now we call it the air gate, where you came from behind the goal and you shot over the top. Never been done before. You did it twice in that game. I was tipped off in that as an announcer and didn't say anything about it. I could have been famous for that alone. But anyway, Gary not only shoots the creative shots, but you name them. Give us a couple here and then show us what the moves are.
I'll be honest, I've never named one. I've always had people do that for me. So I've just taken the shot. The first one I'll do is a backbreaker, and then the second one will be the handle slam.
All right, here we go. Backbreaker. Now he's going to the handle slam. Oh, I had to cut in between there. Handle slam goes in. That'll be two of the shots you might see in Major Indoor Lacrosse League action. Gary Gate, tremendous shooter with creative shots. Rules and Tools for this week. All right, in Philadelphia, 6-5. They lead at halftime. Low-scoring game. Let's go back to Boston. We're at the Fleet Center where New York leads 4-2. They got off that 4-0 start, and Boston has matched two of those goals of late. The last two by Boston. Now they are on the attack again, working the power play. The Blazers in need of two straight wins against New York if they have any hope for a playoff. And it's Wilfong down low. Wilfong, the Canadian import. He buries that one, making it a 4-3 game. Watch this, down low. Silcott misreads it. Silcott goes up high. Wilfong redirects behind Lacasio. See the score, 4-3, and that time is in the second quarter. I tell you, what a speech by Ron Frazier, because Boston has been on the attack ever since, and now they put this one right past Lacasio to tie the game in 4. They've answered the 4-goal start for New York. This was all tied. It has not been easy. It's been a hard-hitting contest. Watch some of the licks as that save by Lacasio puts the ball high. Into the boards. Huff. Ryan goes down. Robinson lays one on Smith. Both of these teams playing for a playoff spot.
Steven, look out! Eric, get us a new 30! Get us a new 30! Hit the goalie! Hit the goalie! Jesus!
All right, so Vinny Pfeiffer and company off to a 4-0 start, but now that's been matched by the Blazers. It's a brand new ball game. They're playing in Boston, a tie game now. They're playing without Tyson Elias, their 3-goal per game scorer. And Lacasio gets burned by Randy Frazier, his 21st goal of the year. Boston gets their first lead, 5-4. Take a look at Frazier's rip. He's looking for rope all the way up top. Wilfong gets the crowd involved. They'll dish it up top to Frazier. What a great right-handed shot. He just whips it in. Sidearm, it trickles in past Lacasio. Nice screen on that shot. Pfeiffer, a little bit upset. Taking notes. He'll relay those notes to his team at halftime. His team got off to a 4-0 start with 5 straight goals for Boston to give them the lead.
Stay tuned for more Laxattack!
We're back in Rochester, 4-2. Rochester leads. This game a little bit streaky like the Boston game. 4-0 lead by Rochester. Now 2 straight for Baltimore to make it a tighter game. We open up this part of the action in the second quarter with a new goalie in there for Baltimore. But right now they're on the attack, putting pressure on Dietrich. Evans from Brown. He puts it home. That's his 4th goal of the year. Good-looking rookie from Brown University. and he makes it a 4-3 game. Back to within 1. Dietrich getting himself set. Rochester, backdoor. Great move by Paul Gate to give it to Daniel Teat, beating J.J. Pearl. Gate got a lot of attention on the fast break and just goes backdoor with it. 5-3 now, 2-goal lead again for Rochester. At this point, Rochester now leads 6-4 as we watch Gate just put one home. That's a hat trick already for Paul Gate. Dietrich gets the assist. And now we pick up action again. Does this look familiar? The Gator, the same shot. The defense saying, what's going on? Horms can't believe it. Paul Gate, 4 goals, and now his team is up 7-4, now 8-4. A 4-goal lead because 2 straight by Paul Gate. He scored 35 goals on the year and helped Rochester get to that 9-4 lead, 5 goals up on Baltimore. We're back in Rochester. Now the score is 11-5. Cantabene scored for Baltimore. Plus, Paul Gate got his 5th. Sudan got another one. That 6-goal lead now as we see Baltimore on a power play. They set up against the Rochester Nighthawks. They've got to make up a lot of goals. Down by 6 as they try to launch one. Clodson up top gives it to Wade. And Ryan Wade puts that one in the corner. 11-6 now. 5-goal lead. That's his 10th goal of the season. Martino on the run, checks the defense, and he gets the corner. That makes it a 4-goal game. A little bit later in the second quarter, we'll pick up the action now. It's 12-9, a 3-goal lead for Rochester. Horn scores to make it a 2-goal game, 12-10. Baltimore coming back in the third. Dietrich, a little bit rocked by the explosive fast break. Can he collect himself? Baltimore on the run, look to be in great shape. Now only 2 goals down. Here comes Martino, but Dietrich makes the big save. And Martino is nailed on the defense. Back to the attack for the Nighthawks. We haven't seen much of that lately, but it is Driscoll who buries it under J.J. Pearl. Driscoll's 2nd goal of the game, an assist to Gate and to Jacobs. 13-10. 14-10 would be the score at the end of 3. The Nighthawks looking good. All right, we're back to Rochester. 16-10. We left. It was 14-10. It was Mearns and also Jacobs scoring as we get into the 4th quarter action to give them that 6-goal cushion. Klotson trying to get things going for the Thunder. They've got a long way to go. I don't think this team has scored 17 goals. It would be the most of the year for Baltimore. They've done a great job getting this team back to respectability. A brand new lineup. Here come the Nighthawks. Paul Gate gets his 6th of the game. 17-10. And 6 goals for Paul Gate. 37 on the year. Later on, now the score is 18-11. This makes it 19-11. What a day for the Gators. 7 goals. An 8-goal lead for Rochester at that point. Think 7's a lot? How about 8 for Paul Gate? What a day for the Gator. 9-goal lead, 8 goals for Paul Gate. Fans love him. They are paying homage to the healthy and scary Paul Gate. He is so hard to come. 22-11 would be the final for Rochester. This team looks like they could go all the way.
Well, I've had a couple weeks off. I've been able to rest and refocus and think a little bit about my game after coming off of probably my worst performance in a year and a half, 2 years against Boston. I just wanted to come out here and prove to myself that I still can shoot.
Well, you sure can. 8 goals, 5 assists after a 1-goal game. He gets 8 goals, and Steve Dietrich was also a huge part of this win.
This was basically a real gut check game. 3 weeks off. Who knew what team was going to show up tonight? We're called the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team of this league, and if this team shows up more times than not, we're going to win. But this is a big win. But now everybody better get focused and get ready. Celebrate tonight, but get ready for Philly next week.
Well, it's been a tough year for Baltimore. Look at that 4th quarter, 8-1 in the 4th. Driscoll with 4 goals and 4 assists. Martino putting in another great effort for Baltimore with 4 goals, 2 assists. Collins yanked after 9 minutes in the 1st. But it's the Nighthawks with a huge win. They are moving toward the playoffs in major indoor lacrosse league action. Hey, speaking of the playoffs, we're back in Boston. New York got off that 4-0 lead. Boston, 5 straight goals to give them the lead at halftime. Vinny Pfeiffer not happy.
We're interested in the effort that you put in the second half of this game, okay? That's what we're looking at. People blowing out of their sneakers to get on and off the floor. People going hard to the goal. People playing great individual defense. Not good, great individual defense, okay? Why don't you rise to the occasion, okay? We keep saying, if you want to be the best, you got to knock the snot out of people. You know you watched them play in the second quarter. There's much too much riding on this for you individually, all right? And I won't let it happen. I'll tell you right now, I will not let it happen. I'll rip you off the floor because I owe it to you.
Well, Boston also has some winning on their mind. We start the second half with Boston on the attack. They've got the 1-goal lead. And they're putting pressure on Lacasio. That's a 6-4 game. Wilfong, ribbon rope from outside. Moments later, Wilfong would score again. So would Lowe. Teams traded goals, making it 7-5 as we pick up the action now. Still third quarter. And that's Eric Saramat getting past O'Neill. 7-6 now. It's New York to within 1 of the Boston team. Blazers get a power play. Huff is in the penalty box for slashing. Getting a little harassment from the fans. Here's the power play. Frazier on the side. Ryan up top on the left-hander side. Working in close, and there's a beautiful shot by Blanchard. Blanchard set picks and then just rolled inside to give them the 8th goal of the game, a 2-goal lead again. Boston refusing to lose. Tap. Quick face-off down to Robo and Robinson. A RoboCop puts it in to make it a 9-6 game. 3-goal lead for Boston. Frazier liking the effort from the Blazers. Part of the reason they've come back, O'Neill has been strong. He makes another save. Teams pushing the ball around. It's dangerous right here. Robinson trying to get it. Carmine takes it all the way up top. And it's a goal because Ryan came flying out of the box. Carmine saw him, gave him the assist. Here he comes out of the box, and he buries that to make it a 10-6 game, a 4-goal lead. And that's how it'll end at the end of 3 quarters of play. A 4-goal lead for the hometown Boston Blazers, 10-6 over New York. And when we come back, Q's on location with Govitz.
Way to hustle, fellas. Thanks a lot. I didn't like that one.
Elsmo and the Q. We're in Philadelphia at the Core State Center. And this is really a low-scoring game. Nobody predicted, I don't think, it'd be this low-scoring. Defense is tough. Both goalies playing pretty strong.
Defense and goalies playing very well. Not much transition in this ball game, and the power plays have been about even. So if those things stay even, it's going to be a low-scoring, close ball game. Keys for Buffalo: stay out of the box, make some saves. If you're Philadelphia, you like this half-court game. Buffalo wants to run and gun.
And they also want another W. Buffalo not a lock for the playoffs. Philadelphia's already in. Buffalo has to have a win. And as we pick up the action in the second half, it's Philly with a 9-7 lead, and they're on the attack. This is the great one. Gary Gay coming in front, splitting 2 defenders, one-handed shot against Tavares. And goalie O'Toole looked a little bit easy. Watch this. It's not an easy shot by any means. Great one-handed shot, but where's the goalie? O'Toole gets benched on that shot. Ross Cowley into the game. His save percentage not that great, but better than O'Toole's this year. That's been the problem for Buffalo. Now, back on the attack. Gary Gate and company. The Wings trying to put this one away. He buries it past Cowley. Gary Gate gets another goal, his 5th of the game, 11-8. The 8th goal coming on Darius Kilgore's. But this fight is the way Buffalo likes to mix it up. These two teams go at it. Last year's championship matchup was Philly against Buffalo. They've gone at it so many times. 6 of the last 7 North American Cup championships have been won by these two teams. Gubbin Travis Kilgore, one of 3 brothers of the Buffalo team. Fair coming in there to defend. Buffalo, when their backs are against the wall, always start to get tough. Dowling challenging Gabrielson, the captain of Philadelphia. Tell you what, these referees really have the work cut out. They do a great job. The crowd loves it. Record crowd at the Core State Center. The biggest crowd ever to watch in Philadelphia. The Wings increase their lead to 3. Now let's go Hollywood and talk to Steve Govett.
We are in Philadelphia with Steve Govett of the Philadelphia Wings. Steve, Philadelphia has such a great fan following. You guys often get the opportunity to do commercials and endorsements for local companies. Tell me about the car ad that you did as a member of the Wings.
We filmed a commercial for Haldeman Nissan, Haldeman Ford, and Lawrence Lexus a couple weeks ago, and we did it at the Petty School in their indoor facility and had just a lot of fun. I mean, it was kind of a spoof on these guys. We had them all dressed up in Wings uniforms, had a couple Bandit uniforms and put them on some other guys, and Matt Oglesby was in it, and Billy Hunter, and it was just a lot of fun.
So Matt Oglesby was John Tavares.
Matt Oglesby was wearing John Tavares' jersey, which I'm sure he wasn't real happy about, but and Billy Hunter was wearing Pat O'Toole's jersey, and we had a lot of fun with it. I think there were some outtakes that we may see, but it was a lot of fun.
So you were running around setting picks for Gary?
I was the guy actually shooting and scoring goals. It was kind of out of character for me. So it was Oglesby was beating on me, and I was putting the ball in the net, which is, as everybody knows, it's not really in character for me. So
how many takes did it take to get it right?
It took us 6 hours to shoot a 30-second spot, basically because I couldn't hit the net. No. It was about, I think, 22 minutes of footage and for 30 seconds. But we were there for 6 hours. I tell you what, I never want to be an actor.
A lot tougher than it looks.
Yeah, it's easier to be out here getting beat on than being in there and having to act like you're good.
So Steve Govett, former goon for Philadelphia, now he's a goal scorer and doing some advertising work as well.
All right, let's get serious, guys. More action to come from Philadelphia. Watch this hit. It's coming up next. But first, when we come back, we're going back to Boston because they're in a dogfight with the Saints. We're back in Boston. They have a 4-goal lead. New York, 4-0 is how they started the game. And since that point, it's 10-2 in favor of the Blazers. We pick up the action now with New York pushing the attack. Sombrado, bring it down to O'Keefe, far side. O'Keefe nails that one. That is the 7th goal for New York. It's 10-7 at this point. Silcott, Vinny Sombrado get the assist. O'Neal racked a little bit. That moment is not one he wants to remember. But he gets hot. O'Neal starts to get the defense working. Big save there. He stops one from Millen. Saramet, Millen again. And then this one from O'Keefe. In the crease, but they can't beat O'Neal. Blazer fans rising to the occasion. They're playing for a playoff spot. And O'Neal is hot. 32 saves for the game. Millen would score to make their score 8. It's 10-8 as we pick up action here. Marmin comes in. He's got rope. 11-8, a 3-goal lead for Boston. Blazers would end up the game with that 11-8 win. The fans love it. They have one more game to go, and they can find themselves in the playoffs. 11-8, the final, and the big hero for Boston would be the Bud Light MVP from Canada with 3 goals and 1 assist. It'll be Jeff Wilfong. Big night for him, the big finisher down low, left-hander. Big night for Boston as they move on to New York.
We came out of the dressing room really uptight because we knew how important this game was going to be. Once we kept our composure, settled the game down to how we play it, took it to them. I mean, Marty O'Neal played the best game of the season for us. He made a comment that he needs a team in front of him. We showed up, he showed up. This is the Boston Blazers of this year.
We take some first quarters off, and tonight we took some lazy penalties, and we weren't getting the ground balls, and they took it to us, and we decided we were going to play lacrosse. like we did in the second half against Philadelphia at home and a lot of other games against Buffalo at home. We can beat anyone, and that's what we did tonight. We had to win, and we pulled it out because we're that good when we want to be.
All right, Marty, a team leader for the defensive end. Look at the way the Saints started. It was 4-0 at one point, and then the Blazers went on a roll. 5-4 at the half, and 5-2. They beat them in the third quarter. You see the final there. Loose balls, Boston all over them, 101-72. That was the name of the game. And this is the Bud Light sounds of the game.
37 for Baltimore roughing.
Where's the penalty?
There you go.
4 minutes. Oh, bull! You guys are disgrace.
So are you.
You're terrible.
So are you. Their guy fouled, and they were going to give you the ball back. Your guy punched him at face mask, and you got 7 minutes, and the other guy roughed him for punching him. All right? You're going to be 2 men, 1 man, more man down, and you have a penalty shot against you. So we want everybody off the floor, and Baltimore's going to shoot a penalty shot. That's it.
After the penalty shot, what's
we're going to face off. 5 minutes roughing, 7 minutes on Canopy, 6 for Baltimore. 2 minutes and 5 minutes roughing, 2 different fouls.
I'm just asking you to be consistent. It's not being consistent. God, that light penalty.
2 minutes for, what the hell was it now? 2 minutes for roughing. Dove on the guy on the ground.
Hey, go to the bench. You're going to the box. Go to the bench. Come on. Time out. Time out. Right here. Mr. Thorpe. You got to go for 2 minutes. I understand. That's why they pay us the big money. You got to go.
When we come back, Philly tries to level Buffalo. Stay with us. 2 games down, 1 left. We rejoined the Philadelphia Wings against the Buffalo Bandits. It was 11-8 when we left this game. Look at Buffalo. They've climbed back to tie it at 12 in the fourth quarter. Cowie gives it to Darius Kilgore, who has had a sensational game. Tavares brings it into the middle. Now gets double teamed. Oh, his head gets taken off by Gabby Rowe. Tavares is down. Ball goes up to the other end. Tavares still down as they try to put the goal in against Cowie. Gabby Rowe just leveled Tavares. Now Gabby Rowe turtles up on the other end. He doesn't want any retaliation. He is just burying himself so he doesn't get hurt. But he took a shot, a legal shot at Tavares, and he is still down. What a loss this would be to the Buffalo Bandits. And they don't like it. Look at Doddridge, takes a shot at Bates. This team is defending their superstar. He's watching Gary Gate, and Gabby Rowe just levels him. Great hit by the Goop. One more look. He's watching Gary Gate. Watch Tavares. He looks at Gate all the way and then gets hit by Gabby Rowe. Hugh, that was a big hit.
Leaf, I got Gabby Rowe who just made that devastating hit, and that was pretty clean. I mean, the Buffalo guys didn't think it was clean. Yeah, it was square, and he didn't see me coming, so I came out of the box and he had no idea I was there, but it was a clean hit, and if he's hurt, that's too bad. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt anyone, I'm just trying to do my job. What happened after the hit? I don't know. All I looked up, I saw a ton of orange guys coming at me. I just turtled up. Last thing I want to do is try and take on 15 friggin' people, so I just let you know, if they want to foul me for the rest of the game, that's fine. We got to do what we got to do to win the game, and that's play smart.
Tavares is up and walking. Good sign for the Buffalo Bandits. What a rocket hit he took. Gary Gate coming in, putting pressure on Cowie. Cowie has really gotten some strong goaltending to help this team come back. Rich Kilgore looking for a rope. He's got it. 13-12, Buffalo in front. They have fought back from a huge deficit. They were 3 goals down coming into the fourth quarter. Now, Maricek ties it at 13-all. Fast breaking action on either end. Maricek makes it 13 goals apiece. Record crowd in Philly as we go to the end of the fourth period. We're going to OT, folks. And here's Buffalo in overtime, looking to get it inside. Dowling, far side, he finds the corner and wins the game for the Buffalo Bandits. They crawled back in this game, down by 3 at the end of 3, tied it at 12, ended the game tied at 13, And this is the winning goal, the third goal of the game for Dowling. He gets it behind Piazza, 14-13, a sudden death win and a tough loss for Philadelphia. Jason Luke and the Buffalo Bandits know how important this win was. But it was a great team effort, and of course the winning goal, very important by Ted Dowling. He's our Bud Light MVP.
Basically, we just dug deep after Gabby Rowe cheap shot Tavares like that. We realized we can't do anything stupid on the floor as far as penalties go. So we just decided the only way to get them back was to win in front of this crowd. Great crowd, though. Fantastic. Great for the game.
All right, Ted Dowling, 3 goals, 1 assist, the game-winning goal in sudden death overtime. Our Bud Light game MVP, and Buffalo gets a big win. Take a look how it worked itself out. 5-2 in the fourth quarter. Buffalo in foreign territory and hostile territory had to come back and win it in overtime. Kilgore, 4 goals. Gate could have been an MVP if they won. He had 5. And Piazza was huge in the nets with 29 saves. Let's take a look at the standings now. They are very interesting. 1 game to go. Philadelphia could lose first place because they play Rochester. If Rochester wins, they will take over first place from Philly. New York plays Boston. If they lose, they're out of the playoffs. Buffalo is a lock, and they will play at home. Now, let's move on to our Brine Mill leaders, brought to you by Brine, the official equipment supplier of Major Indoor Lacrosse. Gary Gate up front with 63 points, only 1 better than his identical twin brother Paul. Then Johnny Tavares of Buffalo in 3rd, and tied for 4th, Tom Erichek, Mark Millen, and Chris Driscoll. Looking on the goals now, you see Paul Gate up front with a big game he had, 8 goals this week. He's at 39. Then Tavares and Gary Gate at 36, Tom Erichek 26, Millen and Driscoll at 23 each. Save percentage, Dallas Elliott didn't play this week. He's missed 2 games this year, but still up top with a 78%. He'll be fresh for the playoffs. Collins, Dietrich, Lacasio, then Ross Cowie and Marty O'Neill. Now this sets up the most dramatic final week of action in the history of Major Indoor Lacrosse League action. And we'll set it up for you in just a minute. Major Indoor Lacrosse League, the Mill Laxattack Show, has been brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Let's take a look at the schedule of games next week, the final week of play in the Mill. Boston Blazers at New York playing for a playoff spot. And Baltimore takes on Buffalo. Buffalo trying to improve in their top 4 ranking. Then you've got Philadelphia taking on Rochester for first place. But first, it's Boston at New York. This will be the war. New York could not lock up a playoff berth in Boston. It was Boston winning and forcing this final game. Does New York have the guts to take it home?
We're a tight team. We didn't get here because we've got no backbone. You know, we're going to stick together. We're going to work hard this week, and we'll come out and we'll give a battle next week.
And if you are at that game, stay with the Stars of the Mill. Stay at the Long Island Marriott Hotel and Conference Center. Then you've got Baltimore playing at Buffalo. That's a game you won't want to miss either, because this is a game Buffalo wants to win to move up in the top 4 seedings for the playoffs. It was Dowling with a sudden death win last week, but this week they'll go against a very tough team, a rebuild team by John Tucker. That's very physical. The Thunder, a team of young, aggressive players. They will be tough to beat up in Buffalo after the emotional win by Buffalo last week. Then Philadelphia and Rochester. This is for first place, and it's a matchup of the 2 top scorers in the league, Gary Gate and Paul Gate. The winner of this game will have the best record. Paul Gate had a sensational day last week, 8 goals and 5 assists, his best game of the year. And his brother Gary had 5 goals in a losing game against Buffalo. If you're at the game in Rochester, stay with the Stars of the Mill. Stay the Radisson Hotel at Rochester Plaza. Now here are the matchups once again. Boston takes on New York. That's for a playoff berth at the Nassau Coliseum, 8 o'clock. Baltimore against Buffalo at the Marine Midland Arena, and first place at stake when Philly takes on Rochester. And don't miss our Laxattack show, Saturdays, 9:30 Eastern Time. And for you West Coast folks, you get another shot at it Monday, April 7th at 12. We're in the locker room with the Buffalo Bandits. Q working on his stick work. He thinks he might try for a forward position on this team. This team with a huge win. I tell you, I think this has got to be one of the biggest wins for them in the last couple of years.
Well, they came into the game with a renewed attitude, and they were tested. And there was a stage in that game where I think where they could have lost their composure. They came together as a group. Richie Kilgore got the whole team around him, made a speech. They kept their composure. They went out and they played lacrosse. A couple key efforts. I thought all the Kilgore brothers, Richie, Travis, and Darius all played very well. Jason Luke, a couple key goals. Cowie had a nice effort. Tavares gets devastated. He comes back in the lineup, and then Dowling wins it. And so a bunch of players. It was a group effort.
Yeah, accordingly, of course, missing from this mix, and they're trying to find themselves with Adam. I think they're doing a good job. Should be in a good shape for the playoffs that start in 2 weeks, folks. Next week will be our last week. On the other side of the coin, Philadelphia had big efforts out of Andy Piazza and the normal cast of guys like Gary Gate and Marichek. They were there to win this game. Buffalo wouldn't let them. Huge week here on Laxattack, and that'll do it. But we'll see you next week. We've got 3 games again next week, so don't miss it.